Concessions.
And now it's time for my favorite part of the show, Anniversaries. You know what today is? It's October 27th, and we're here to talk about the movie anniversaries of today. So, we got first up Five Nights at Freddy, came out in 2023. That was 2 years ago. And this movie had a budget of $20 million, and it made $297 million. That is a lot of money. I've never been a fan of Five Nights at Freddy. I didn't watch the movie. I'd never played the game. It didn't really seem like it was for me. It seems very corny and childish, I guess you can say. Um, I know they're working on a sequel. But yeah, you making this much money, you're doing a sequel. But I don't know. It just really wasn't a thing for me. My son watched it. He said he loved it. Um, Maybe I'll watch it with him, and maybe we'll see the sequel. I don't know, but it's just not really for me. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed, 2016, came out 9 years ago, and that movie had a budget of 125 million, and it made 240 million dollars. Now, I remember this movie coming out, and although it made that money, that much money, it just it didn't live up to the Assassin's Creed storyline or the video game franchise. I remember just looking at the movie thinking like this is not like the game. They just like kind of took small things from it, and it wasn't that good, But I guess people went out and going to go see it because it made the money back and were curious about it. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't hit the way I thought it would. Um, Next up, we have Saw 3. Saw 3 came out in 2006. That was 19 years ago, and it had a budget of $10 million, and it made $164 million. I feel like Saw 3 was the last good Saw movie. The trilogy of Saw were like the big three, the top horror, suspense, thriller in its genre. But like after in its franchise, but after four, five, six, that like it just kind of died after that. Um, I know they're working on another Saw. I don't know if it's a remake or a reboot or we're just gonna keep going on with all these numbers. But I do know James Wan is back to possibly write and direct this movie, and it's under Bloomhouse as well. So hopefully it'll be just as good as the trilogy is. I'm curious to see another Saw, so we'll see how that works. Next up, we have Romeo and Juliet. This is the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Clara Danes. It came out in 1996. The movie is 29 years old, and it had a budget of $14 million, and it made $147 million. I remember this movie being a pretty big deal when it came out. A lot of mixed criticism, people loving the movie, people hating the movie because although it was a modern day touch on Romeo and Juliet, they had still had the Shakespeare Old English going on, and I know a lot of people didn't like that. But this is probably the most popular Romeo and Juliet movie. They used to show us this in school for the story. Um, but yeah, I would consider this a classic movie for my time. What do we got next? What do we got? Last but not least, Vampire in Brooklyn, 1995, 30 years ago, budget of $14 million, and it made $35 million. Out of all of these movies, this is the classic to me. Eddie Murphy is, he's the GOAT. Um, Although this movie just seemed really left of all the movies that he was doing, but it still lives up to this day. I love Vampire in Brooklyn, a Wes Craven film, which surprised me when I found that out years ago. But yeah, this, maybe people may not like this movie. I think it's hilarious. I think it has the comedy mixed with the horror. It's Eddie Murphy. You're here to laugh, really, and he stepped out of his normal comfort zone in movies, and I think it worked really well. So those are the anniversaries of this day, October 27th. come back next time and check out the anniversaries of the next Coops Concessions.